Bok Kakasi, or should I say Bok Chikachi, because this is a Croatian bestseller, and Bok is hi, Kakasi is how are you, but the murderous chickens in this are called Bok and chickens. It's like a homophone. But let's be honest, you were a kid when I said murderous chickens. Now, firstly, before we get into this book, thank you, Gracia, who actually sent this all the way from Croatia to Wales. Love it when it happens. Who wanted to share some Croatian literature with me. And Kristian Novak's Dark Mother Earth was a unsuspected bestseller in Croatia. Now, we don't have this in the English translation, but this is written in a dialect in the original of North Croatian. So it's quite niche. So the fact that everyone in Croatia was drawn to this book was a bit of a surprise to Novak himself. How we deal with that dialect in the English is that some of the characters speak like they're from Yorkshire. An open letter to Ellen Elias Burzak. Don't. You don't need to put a Yorkshire accent in. You just don't. I don't need to be reading about trauma, childhood, and understanding the passing of life with a farmer coming out going, "Hey up lad, how's it going like?" Oh, I can't fathom how difficult translation is. I can imagine the task must be horrendous sevenfold when there's a dialect and an accent in the original. And how do you navigate that with readers who don't speak Croatian? But maybe let's stop at Yorkshire. We're vetoing Yorkshire. We don't care. Yorkshire, no. Allow us to alight at Tangentville. What is this book about? Matja is a successful author, currently writing his third book. The past two were renowned. They did well. He earned money from it. He set out his career. But his third book, he's having difficulty with. Nothing seems to click. The made-up worlds that he has created, that everyone has adored and loved, are jarring. They're not as fluid as they used to be. Now, Matja and his girlfriend strike up a arrangement that they're going to tell each other the truth about their past and how they feel. And we have some humorous interactions with Matja and his girlfriend. I mean, well, let's go back to the translation. I don't know what the original was, but I'm pretty sure in the Croatia the term sexy T-Rexy was not in there. Oh, imagine that coming out of a Yorkshireman's mouth. Tension rises within the relationship as Matja is unwilling. He is unable to express himself and refuses to give information out to people. And here we see him move deeper into his creative worlds. The one that he has created, the past that he has created. And Matja is going to have to re-encounter. He's going to have to relive those experiences in order to move on. From the populous capital city Zagreb, we move to the countryside, and Matja is 5 years old, and his father is being buried. Now, no one really explains to Matja what is happening with his father. He knows that someone's being buried, but he hasn't seen that it's his father, so doesn't believe that his dad is dead and is in the ground. To a 5-year-old, no one is willing to explain what has happened. Now, all the way throughout this book, and even within the prologue, death is at the forefront. We talk about the suicides that happen within the countryside, 9 of them, in fact, and are given speculations, given accounts of the people. Now, did these actually happen? I did speak to Gracia about it because I couldn't find anything in English, and neither could she in Croatian. Matja's fact and fiction are so difficult and intangible at some point that you have to revel when certain instances happen, all to be slapped in the face by Novak when you actually realise what is happening. Cue the murderous chickens, they carry knives, they go around insulting, they are an absolute menace across the farm. Only when we discover who is causing the abuse, who is actually doing all these acts, that this childish farce entertainment that we are given turns sour. The more that we encounter these foul, there is no acceptance to be had. Matthew recedes, he rescinds, he withdraws into the imaginary. And it feels, based on this, that Croatian folklore, Croatian story and tale is rife. Everyone has a story to tell. It's entertainment. It shrouds the darkness that is happening within Croatia throughout their history. It is a way not to make light, but to make understandable. The question that I think Novak is bringing to the reader is, are Mattia's actions an escape route, or are they a way to understand what is going on? We have to remember Mattia's age around here is young. He hasn't got a full view of the world and is just accepting what has happened as what is being told to him by the adults around him. He has no tact. We see him in the playground. He doesn't mean to bully children, but ends up going along with the flow, but never really comprehending what he has done, why he has said certain things, or why other people are now pushing him away, pushing him outside the community. And maybe that's a reason why he finds himself outside in Zagreb. Dark Mother Earth does play with your notions of what is going on. It's very difficult, again, to separate what is actually happening from what is made up. If you've read Number 9 Dream by David Mitchell, you'll have an understanding of what this is. Mitchell superbly melds this dreamlike somnambulist state within contemporary Japan, but Mitchell doesn't have a translator in the way, and I think the translation here has gone in the way, and I can only base it on the translation because I don't speak Croatian. I'm not going to speak Croatian to a level to read the original, so we have to go of what we got. And similar to Voloshilegrev, I think the downsides of this book are the translation, and so I can only really give this like a 5. I can only give it a 5. But as I'm making this a coffee special, Gracia did send me this a while ago, and it's going to go up on the channel at some point. I am working on it. It's August Shinoa's The Goldsmith's Treasure, which is a nightmare to find in the UK. Gracia sent me a English translated copy from the Croatian, and this is Croatia's first ever historical fiction. And Shinoa, I mean, what a cover! Can we just talk about that for a second? That's beefy, isn't it? Shinoa has been labelled as the Croatian Dickens, so look forward to that one. Thank you again to Gracia for sending me this lovely book. I hope you enjoyed this review, and thank you again for all your support. TBR Tackle, I apologise for all the pain I've caused, but as long as you read 12 books, doesn't matter what the prompts were. I mean, when you look at it like that,